I was just sitting down a few days ago, reminiscing, thinking about a lot of things. And then my memory took me back to when I was in uni. Hi, guys. My name is Esther, if you see me for the very first time. And I thought it would be very, very good to actually do a story time for you guys today. Just in case you've seen this beautiful lady, because beauty cost is not easy. It's not easy to be naturally beautiful. Anyways, you're welcome to the channel, and do not make this your last. I dey swear to omo, I dey sweat. Heat they worry me. Okay, you're welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, do not make this your last. So, like I was saying, I was just sitting down thinking. I think a lot, and what led to this thinking? I was going through my Facebook page and I stumbled upon my old picture years back in 2020. And then I look at myself because I've been very, very angry ever since my phone got stolen. I've been very angry. I've been questioning myself, like, what's wrong? Why would this have to happen now? How do I get to survive? So many thoughts in my head and in my mind as well. And then when I stumble upon that picture, man, I'm like, Omo, you worry that you're not actually progressing in life, that your growth is small. But comparing myself 2020 and 2025, there's a whole lot of difference. Medically, physically, I've even added a lot of weight. I mean, it's expected, right? Okay, let me go back to the story time. I'm going to be telling you guys a story of how I got abandoned by a guy I was dating in school. You see, men will stain your white. I've had experience with guys in the past, and not like they were really bad, so bad experience. Because I've had people, share stories of how they've been in abusive relationship, they've helped the guy financially, and the guy will end up disappointing them, blah blah blah. That, but for my case, that wasn't my case. But somebody don't raise and slap me once, but I slapped my own back. I may even slap. So I'm really sweating. I just turned on the ECC, you guys. So I was my 100 level when I met this guy. We're going out. I won't really call it a serious relationship. I'd mentioned a story related to this. So I was having accommodation issue when the pastor that asked me to sleep with him, and I refused, only for us to get a bad news from him that he's not going to be accommodating us any longer, because he accommodated us from our 100 level second semester. We only have 2 semester in a year, in a section. So first semester and second semester, that's all. Yes, if I'm not mistaken. Am I? If I'm not mistaken, I've forgotten. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because I know the second semester begins, the next section begins from September. That's if you enter another level, another semester. First semester begins from September. So I hope I'm not. It's been a long time. I can't remember. I left uni 2018. So, but I know we have 2 semester in a section. Yeah. So I was going out with this guy when I was in 100 level, and we were leaving, myself, my friend, and a brother. I shared this story before. Something when a pastor asked me to sleep with him. You find the story, like, if the story time on my page if you scroll down. So you guys now. So I visit this guy and I'll go and see him and my friends, all of that. So we were having accommodation issue when the pastor told us that we are not going to return to his house. He can no longer accommodate us. So I spoke to him. I told him that this is what is happening for now, and my other friend was having issues. The parents were having financial issues at that point. Sage, please stay one place. The parents were having financial issues at that point, so she couldn't resume with us She couldn't resume with us in our second level in school, and first semester, second level or second year in school, first semester, year 2. Now let me can resume. Among all of us, we did for the house, no place to stay. At that point, I didn't want to be in a hostel because I can't even afford the hostel accommodation fee. My mom was the only one, responsible for my school fees, and I learned that along the line my brother supported. I spoke to him. I told him about my accommodation issue. He should just accommodate me for just a few times, and then I'll try as much as possible to get accommodation. Sometimes I'll be shuffling between here and there, look for one of my classmates' place to, spend the night. I don't go through a lot for this my life. He said, okay, fine, let's say 1 week to when I'll be traveling back to Cotonou. He said, no problem, I should come, this one, that one. Did you know that when I got to, like, the last bus that is going to take me down to the border, the last bus that will take me down to the border before I will now cross from Nigeria to Cotonou, Republic of Benin. I called him when I was about to board the last bus to border. He said, fine, no problem. And then I got to Cotonou Park. Even before I got to Cotonou Park, I'd started trying his number. Network issues, wasn't reachable. And then I got to Cotonou Park. I called him. The phone started ringing. This guy didn't pick up. I thought maybe he wasn't with his phone, right? And then I went to his old house. I called him. His phone was ringing. Wasn't picking. I said, is this guy going to abandon me? Like, is he going to let me stay all alone, knowing fully well that I don't have anywhere to go to? I'd also retrieved I'd also gotten a new line, because at that point, Glow wasn't really connecting. I couldn't find my old SIM, so I'd gotten a new line already. Called him. Wasn't picking. I went to his old house after I had stayed in the bus stop for so many minutes. The bike man that took me from all the way from the park to the bus stop waited for a few minutes. No, I waited for a few minutes at the park before I actually summoned courage to say, okay, let me board a bike to his old house. At least I know there. I went there. The bike man himself was patient enough to wait for me before I now paid him and he left. One of their tenants, the tenant did not move out with them. I started trying other people's number. They not give me people that are actually close to the guy. They gave me his number, and so that I would try the number to see if they're going to pick. Let me see if you're going to reach him through his friends. None of them picked. All of a sudden, all of them just is as if they know they see the phone they ring. I called and called and called. None of those guys picked my call. A lot of things just went through my mind. I'm like, God, just imagine, even though, okay, don't take me like I am somebody you know, or I'm somebody you've had something to do with. But imagine I'm your sister. Would you have allowed your sister to stay up in a place where she doesn't know anyone? I've watched a movie. I've seen a movie where a girl traveled all the way from another city to visit her boyfriend, her online boyfriend, and the online boyfriend stood her up. So a total stranger that picked her up and helped her in. These are the kind of Adam that people mother give birth to. Sometimes some of these men have become so inhuman that they don't want to be human first before they become somebody's husband or boyfriend. A lot of things, a lot of thoughts in my head, and my friend, as at that time, let me name her Amaka. My friend, as at that time, Amaka has not even, returned back to Cotonou, because obviously she said she was going to return, but that semester she didn't return because of financial problems. Do you get? So luckily, one of the tenants was like, you know what, just stay here because we can't leave you. Where are you going to go to? You don't have anywhere to go to. So they took me in, and that was how they told me, okay, for 1 week. The guy, I know what okay, let's say I know one of the tenants. I know the tenant. I know one of the tenants, but he has a roommate that stays with him. It is a 2-bedroom flat. So he has his own room. The other guy has his own room. Because he knows me, he cannot tell me to come and stay in his room. So he asked me to squat with the other guy. So the other guy took me in. I started staying with them. 1 week I was like, you know what, I'm going to try and look for a way. When I get to school, I'll talk to my classmates to move. He was like, take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry to, move or or go anywhere. And then he started saying, why would somebody do such a thing? Why would somebody ask you to come? Why would somebody assure you that, oh, you can come and, stay with him for a while before you get an accommodation? And then he ends up doing this to you. Ha! I say, you don't see him now. You don't see him. 1 week passed. That was how this person accommodated me for a whole year. And thinking about it just made me laugh. It just made me laugh about how life has thrown a lot of things to me. And then there's a lesson learned here. There's a lesson learned. Never to trust anyone. Never to depend on anyone. Yes, I know you was okay. Were you expecting that you were going to school? You were going to Scott with somebody. Why didn't you get yourself prepared? Of course, gullible me, young me would never thought that a guy would do that to me. Yeah. Just imagine that guy did not take me back. Where would I have slept that night? Where would I have slept? That was how this young guy accommodated me for a whole semester. I have a lot of stories to tell, but if you think I'm a good storyteller, let me know. Maybe I'll bring more stories to you guys, because surviving in school was not easy. But the only advantage about being a girl is, you are pretty privileged to meet people who want to help you, especially the other gender. But this gender is so wicked. I'm not trying to speak ill about the male gender, but some men are really, really evil. You'll be shocked at who you're dating. This kind of guy will go out tomorrow and date a girl. And in that girl's mind, the girl will be thinking that he's such a good guy. He's so good. He's so this. He's so that. He's my king. He's my all and all. If only you know what this guy has done to other people. You don't even judge a guy. You can't really say that a guy is good to you if he treats you well. You need to look out for how he treats other people. It matters a lot. People are so wicked. People are so inhuman. Even his fellow men told him the same thing. But that's the end of the story time. I hope you learned one or two things. Okay, don't trust anybody. For those of you who are even on online dating, you met somebody on TikTok, on Facebook, please, as a lady, allow the guy to be the one to travel down to Lagos to come and see you. Don't risk it. Don't risk it. Don't risk it, because some of these men are so wicked. Some ladies too are evil and wicked. People are wicked. Let me not just be focused on men only. Let me generalize it. People are so wicked. You need to actually be human first. Be human. Let's leave, because she's my girlfriend, because she's my sister, because she's my mother. Be human first. How would you feel if someone had treated your family member that way, or if someone had treated you that way when you need help? How would you feel? Let me know if you've had similar experience. And if something like this happened to you, yes, that was the last of it all. I never heard from the person, never spoke to the person, never ever had. I have a lot of stories to tell, but I'm saving it for future reasons, because there's a life lesson. Yeah, life lessons to be learned on this channel. Trust me, a lot. Yeah, so my name is Esther, and this platform is all about sharing my experiences, my struggles, my wins, even though I consider myself not to have a lot of wins. If you like the story time, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share the video and leave me a comment. At this point, I don't know what to say. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.